Let's talk about exceptions and try and catch. Alright, my friends, back and tell you once more, and in this video we're going to be talking about exceptions as well as the try and catch statement over here. And the idea is that we want to throw an exception when something unexpected happens, like when it's an exception. Interesting. Now the rule of thumb over here is that you want to fail loudly because, well, I mean, I've told this before, this is sort of an extension of the previous errors lecture that we've had, where I basically said errors are your friends and you want to fail loudly, right? Because the idea is that that gets you a choice or a way to then solve this particular issue that you might find yourself with. Now here we have the code of our banking system. So this was on exercise 4. This is the exact same code over here. And I think this is going to illustrate the exceptions pretty well. Because what we can do is, instead of just saying, hey, this is like when we have a bank over here and we open a bank account and we can, let's say this is not the case, right? And we say, hey, this person cannot open a bank account. We can also just say, you know what, we're just going to throw an exception over here. Whether or not this is necessarily the good idea or a bad idea, we're just going to put that out there. But theoretically, we can make a new exception that says, bank account opening failure or something like that. So let's just make a new exception over here. So in our bank package, we're going to make a new Java class. We're going to choose exception, and this is the bank account exception, right, for the sake of argument, and it immediately creates it with an extension of the runtime exception. That's totally fine. So we can literally just keep it like this. And instead of this system out, we're going to actually throw new exception, bank account exception in this case, and we're going to basically say the same thing that we've said in the output. We're going to say person.getFullName, and then we say is not old enough to open a bank account. Boom. And now we don't need to actually do this. Now here, it basically says, hey, we can no longer do this. That's fair. Let's actually just do it the other way around. You're going to see why this doesn't matter anyway in some capacity, because when we throw this exception, it's going to immediately, basically the program is just going to crash. So let's just take a look at it. So theoretically, in line 15, where Nano, who is not old enough, tries to open a bank account, we should then actually get an exception thrown. If we were to run this, we can see, boom, there we go. And the cool thing about an exception is it actually shows you the stack trace of exactly what happened. First, over here, line 15, right? Line 15 right here of the main method. Awesome. And then we can see right here, bank 30. So this is the line 30 here. Awesome as well. And then finally, 59. And this is where the exception was thrown. So you can see bada bing, bada boom. And that is actually also says here, NanoAttack is not old enough to open a bank account. So it gives you everything that you want. Except for now, everything that happens afterwards, we do not continue, right? That's a very, very important point. We don't continue to do this. So there's a couple of ways that you could feasibly deal with this. Number one is you could just not throw an exception. Sure, okay, fair enough. You can also use the try and catch statement over here. So let's say the open bank account right here, we are going to try this. So we're going to put in a try statement, then put this in, right? And then put in a catch right here where we catch an exception, E, right? And then we can do whatever we want with this exception. For example, we can simply output it. So let's say this is going to be open bank error, just for the sake of argument over here. And that's going to be e.getMessage. Right. So if we do this, it's going to then open the bank account over here. And then we have the Daniel, who is old enough, but the deposit is not high enough. However, we don't have anything done there. So this is just simple normal output. So theoretically, if we were to run this now, we will catch the exception right here. And let's take a look. So if we run this, you can see open bank error. Nano is not old enough to open the bank account. Then the deposit of 10 is not enough, at least 150, 2,000, and then cannot withdraw over the limit. Now, one interesting thing to see over here is if we were to get the account from Nano right here, which you might say, well, that doesn't make any sense. The bank account didn't open. Well, let's take a look, right? So we threw this over here. Did it continue there or did it not? Let's just see. And we will find that, nope, it's a null pointer exception because this was never created. Because this particular method, right, that actually stopped exactly when the bank account exception was thrown. However, the rest of the program, that continued as normal. This is also a very important thing to consider and keep in mind. Now, the reason why there's exceptions and there's the try and catch over here is simply so that sometimes you do want to fail as loud as possible That's basically what I've told you from the very beginning, right? Fail as loudly as possible. But sometimes you might not want your program to end immediately. Maybe you want to deal with it with a try and catch statement. And that's exactly what the try and catch statement is for. We know, hey, the open bank account throws an exception. You can even tell that this does it by adding after the end of the method, we can say throws, and then we can say bank account exception. And then we go to the open bank account where this is called. We can see over here, it throws this exception. And theoretically, we can then say the same thing about this one, throws bank account exception. And if we now go one way up over here, then we can actually even see it right here that it throws a particular exception, which can be quite important to note. If you don't see the exact application of this yet, that's totally fine. Number one, I just want you to know that exceptions are basically when something unexpected happens, right? So, and not only loudly, you also want the program to basically crash in a controlled fashion, so to speak, because that is going to then get you an output, right? Like literally like we've seen right here. Or if we were to just, let's say, get him out of here again, right? If we were to do this one more time, while this is a crash, right? That when the program stops, you have a stack trace that gets you exactly to what the issue was in this instance, right? It gets you exactly to the issue. Now, maybe you don't want that, and maybe you actually want the program to sort of finish normally. That's totally fine. Then you can use the try and catch statement over here, and bada bing, bada boom, we still get the error, right? So you still get the open bank error right here, and we can still look at it. But notice that the stack trace is not here. If we want to still get the full stack trace here for the inside of the try and catch, we can say e.print stack trace and then simply pass in system.out. In this case, it's going to output it into the console. So if we were to run this, you can see now we still get the entire stack trace, but the rest of the program still continues. Now here it is not marked as an error or red, totally fine, but just so that you know, you can theoretically also still output that even in a try-catch statement. Very interesting indeed. There are, when you have a big program, the applications become a little bit more clear in that case. But the most important thing that you should take away from this particular video over here is number one, the try as well as the catch keywords over here, very important when there is anything to do with an exception, as well as sort of the throw exception keyword, throw new exception, as this, you will 100% run into this at some point, and we've basically already seen certain exceptions be thrown, right? A null pointer exception is one of the most ubiquitous ones that you're going to see all the freaking time, because an object is going to be null when you didn't expect it to be null, and then you just have to make sure that it actually has a certain value. Right, so that's the main point of this video, but that's going to be it for this one right here. Still hope you found this useful and you learned something new, and I'll see you all in the next video. So, yeah.